sunshine on my face. So dehydrated, don't know what to say. Who's sleeping by myself?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. I cannot believe they were already into October. It is absolutely flying by, isn't it? But this is why I wanted to make today's video, because if you've watched me for a while, you will know that I'm a little bit obsessed with romanticizing my life. I talk about it all the time, turning the normal everyday moments into something that you actually enjoy. And I think that's why I love this time of year so much, because I feel like it's made for it. Do you feel like this time of year, like especially recently, I feel like everybody collectively loses their mind as soon as like October hits? Everything is pumpkin spiced. We all go crazy for the fancy coffees, anything cinnamon, and I am all for it. I absolutely love it all. There's just something about autumn for me, like even when it's cold and dark outside and all of that's a bit grim, that it still feels like such a cozy time when everything is meant to slow down a bit. And yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like autumn is the perfect time to romanticize your life. And I definitely don't mean in like an over-the-top Pinterest kind of way, although I do love looking on Pinterest this time of year. But I just mean like the realistic ways and things that you can do that fits into everyday life. Yeah, I wanted to just have a little chat about different ways that you can make this season feel a bit softer, a bit calmer, and just real nice ways that you can enjoy it more. So mornings for me are a big one. You know, those small boring things that make up most of your day, that's where it really starts. Take your morning drink, say it's coffee, tea, whatever you have. You do not need to have some big fancy coffee machine. You don't need the beautiful frothed whatever and fancy latte art. But when you do make it, even if it's just a real simple instant coffee, whatever it might be, even if it's a nice glass of water, instead of necking it whilst you're scrolling your phone or you're rushing about or you end up letting it go cold, just take a couple of minutes to sit with it. It's amazing how much of a difference little things like that make. Just having a sit down in the peace and quiet with your hot drink and just enjoying every sip. It genuinely, I mean, it sounds so small, but it really does romanticize that little moment a little bit. I am all about doing little things like that. Even in the morning, even when I am going to be rushing about on the school run, I will open the windows, get some fresh air in, light a candle, or like with breakfast, make that a bit more of a moment. Make yourself something really warming, like porridge with cinnamon sprinkled on it, maybe some chopped apples, get some nice big chunky bread for toast and have it with proper butter. Things like that are just so nice this time of year. It's just a really nice way to make the morning feel a bit nicer. So you're not just rushing about with a cold coffee and a cereal bar. Just try and slow down a little bit. Like a lot of mornings for me, I love to have a bath in the morning, and I'll do that a lot on the school mornings. I'll get up just like 5-10 minutes earlier than I would do if I was having a shower, just enough time to like run the bath. But I like to have a little bubble bath some mornings, because I just think, why not? It makes my morning feel a lot calmer. I feel like I'm easing into the day a little bit more once I'm like, instead of getting in a shower. It's just something that I prefer to have, and it definitely relaxes me. I do that before the kids get up as well. I appreciate that's not always that simple if you have got little ones that are getting up at like the crack of dawn, but if there is the option to do that, I find that really good. A real nice way to start the day. And it's the same with walks. I know it seems just like so simple and boring, but honestly it makes such a difference. And it doesn't even need to be like gorgeous countryside walks. Even just a quick loop around the block with a podcast in your headphones is so beneficial and is so good for resetting your brain and setting yourself up for a good day. When you start seeing everyday stuff as little moments instead of just chores, everything feels softer. It's not even doing fancy stuff, it's just making it nicer. And once you start doing that with those little things, then the rest kind of follows. You naturally find yourself wanting to make these everyday moments of your life that little bit cozier. And once you start slowing down those moments in your day, it will naturally spill into your evenings as well. And evenings are such a good time to romanticize because most of us are already at home and you don't need to do anything fancy. It's just about switching to comfort mode as soon as you shut that door and shut the world out. For me, when I get home, it normally involves tidying up a little bit so it just feels nicer. I always light a candle. I always put my oil diffuser on just to get the house smelling really nice. I've got some gorgeous autumn oils that just, yeah, they make the house smell so cozy. And it's just about dedicating the evening to doing little things for yourself, like maybe it's a program that you've been saving to watch or a film, spending some time having a little pamper, skincare, or it could be just sitting down to a nice proper meal. It's just about doing a few things in the evening that are actually going to help you to relax rather than just flopping on the sofa and scrolling on your phone for ages. And it can sound really tiny and like it wouldn't make much difference, but it really does. Even like putting on a nice pair of pajamas or having the lighting really nice and low and cozy, it really does make a difference. And actually Sundays are my favourite day for this. I love a home day, fresh bedding, Sunday reset, maybe a little bit of baking, restocking the fridge, a bit of meal prep. Yeah, on a Sunday it always feels like pressing reset before the week starts again. And yeah, if you live on your own or you don't have much time for yourself, I think it's so important to make your evenings special for you. Put some music on, run a bath, read something instead of scrolling. I keep banging on about the book I'm reading at the moment because it is like the coziest read ever, which is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and I am consciously doing that instead of scrolling on my phone all evening and making sure I sit down and read, sitting in a nice cozy chair with a blanket on my knee. Honestly, you will be amazed at how much more relaxed you feel when you make your evening intentional instead of just the leftover bit of the day, the waiting to go to bed part. Something else that I think is really important to do this time of year is to really make the most of this part of the year. Obviously, I am very big into my autumn decorating, having a look at all the different autumn yummy food and snacks and things in the shops. Anything pumpkin and cinnamon, I am there for it. And any autumn activities I am down for. I really embrace it. I really make the most of it. And you don't need to turn it into this big autumn aesthetic thing. You really don't need to. Just enjoy what is already there. Going for a nice little autumn walk and picking up a hot drink instead of rushing home from places, and just taking a bit of time to just notice all the nice bits. You know, the leaves falling off the trees. As cheesy as it sounds, like it is when you actually take a little bit of time to just appreciate everything around you and just slowing down, like the whole, I cannot stress, like slow down a little bit just to enjoy these little moments, especially before it gets like properly cold and miserable, because at the moment it is just perfect. But even throughout the colder times, there's still going to be lovely moments when you can just go and take yourself for a gorgeous autumn walk. And yeah, obviously I decorate a lot with my autumn pieces, but I don't think anybody should feel like they have to go out and spend a fortune on autumn decorations or pumpkins. I do genuinely think you can make your house feel really cozy without spending a load of money. Like I say, lighting a few candles, changing out your bedding for something a little bit cozier, keeping some throws around, or if you did want to get a few bits of decoration, you can get some like really inexpensive pumpkins from Aldi, or you know, go and pick some nice leaves or conkers with the kids, or even just creating some cozier spaces around your house. Maybe move a lamp to a different part of your home, creating like a nice little cozy corner for yourself. It's more about the atmosphere than it is about the actual stuff. I find all that really beneficial to do as well, because I obviously work from home, so if you do work from home, just trying to make it a little bit nicer and cozy for yourself, like having a few nice candles about and things. I do think it just, you know, it's all about the atmosphere and keeping it nice and cozy. I also am trying to cook a lot more and embrace all of the yummy things and yummy recipes that are so good at this time of year. Nothing complicated, but things like toasties and soups, jacket potatoes, apple crumbles, all of those cozy hearty meals that make you really look forward to eating. If you are somebody that gets a little bit low feeling this time of year, and this is something that I've talked about before because it's something that I can struggle with as well, then give yourself little things to look forward to. So I quite often will do like a movie night with the kids at the weekend. I really look forward to them. Plan a little coffee date or a solo coffee date. Take yourself to a lovely little cute coffee shop, treat yourself, or planning a nice walk somewhere. There's some beautiful places and it's completely free. I have that thing with walking where sometimes when you can't be bothered and you don't want to go, and then you always feel so much better when you do. So yeah, make sure you're planning a few nice little things for yourself, just things to look forward to if you do struggle a little bit with feeling a little bit down. Basically, make this season work for you. Use it as an excuse to slow down a bit and get cozy and enjoy all the little things. I also feel like this time of year kind of makes me want to reset a little bit. Not like a full-on new year, new me type thing, but just adopting small habits that make everything run a little bit smoother. Because I feel like, especially like after the holidays and everything, the school holidays, I tend to fall out of routine a little bit. So this time of year I naturally try and get back into it, and I do very small little things so that they're not overwhelming. So if I want to feel like I want to get more organized around the house, I will do, instead of like a full declutter, I will tell myself to declutter one drawer one day, to go through some clothes the next day. Just things that don't take too long but over the week really add up as things that have made me feel like way more put together. And I do feel like how you keep the space around you makes such a difference. I'm in the house so much more this time of year than I am in the summer or anything, so I do feel like it's important to keep it fairly organised and tidy. It definitely helps to keep my brain from feeling less cluttered. If you tend to feel a little bit more down this time of year, then keeping things a little bit more organised around you will definitely help with that. Even little things like a little bit of snack prepping for the kids, or meal prepping, a little meal prep for the next day instead of doing a full week. Like just tiny things to help me feel, or help my brain feel less cluttered. And I always say this, if you struggle with motivation when it comes to tidying, organising, any of these things around the house, then pair it with something that you love. So if you've got to clean, put your favourite music on or listen to an audiobook or podcast. It genuinely makes it so much more enjoyable and easier to do. Sometimes I find like if I put music on in the kitchen, on Alexa in the kitchen, I can be pretty much done, but I end up wanting to clean more because I'm still listening to whatever I'm listening to, whether it's music or a podcast or whatever in the kitchen. So yeah, it definitely helps to keep me motivated and just find it more enjoyable. And that is what this is all about, those everyday moments, finding ways to make them more enjoyable and trying to find ways to make them feel more like a self-care moment than a punishment or a chore. The other thing that helps me in autumn is sorting out my mindset a bit, because I do feel like this time of year can feel, there's that bit of pressure that you should have everything sorted out before Christmas, or like making you reflect a little bit on how the year's gone so far and can highlight things that you'd wished you'd achieved, or that you feel like you should have achieved by now. And I am really trying to focus more on what is going well than anything that I'm missing. I say it all the time, but I absolutely love a gratitude list. Just writing down a couple of things a day or every other day of things that you're grateful for. It sounds like a small thing that maybe you would think doesn't make that much difference, but it genuinely really does help. Gratitude is just so important. It can be really small stuff as well, just appreciating a nice coffee that you've had that day, or a nice interaction with somebody in a shop, or, you know, praising yourself for cooking a meal instead of ordering a takeaway. It just helps you to notice the good bits and not focus on any of the negatives. I'm also trying to stop comparing where I am at to other people online, because social media is a pain for that, isn't it? Autumn is a bit like that as well, and this is where I stress that, like, you don't need to spend all this money on autumn decorations. You don't need to be going and doing like the days out at the pumpkin patches and doing all these sorts of things. It's lovely, it's nice, but it is important to remember that nobody's life looks like the picture perfect online life all the time. So it's important to remember not to compare yourself to anybody else's life, because I do know how easy it is to feel behind when you see certain things, which is why it is so important to try to switch off from that and just focus on what makes your day feel good. Whether that is time with the kids, 5 minutes peace with a hot cup of tea, or just, you know, keeping the house fairly tidy, that is enough. Because I think the whole point of romanticizing life is about noticing what's already good and not trying to constantly fix, improve and change everything. And once you start doing that, life feels a lot nicer and easier. I feel like it's really easy to rush through autumn worrying about Christmas and next year, but when you do actually slow it down a bit, you realise that there's so much to enjoy now. Like, I absolutely love a little Sunday walk when the sun's still shining but it's a little bit crisp and a little bit chilly. I love having my autumn bedding on, I love having all the blankets around, I love cosy movie nights with the kids. It's just all about how you make the season feel nice for you, and it's not about spending a fortune or doing loads and loads of new things. It's just about finding small, calm moments in amongst all the chaos of life. So yeah, that is my realistic take on romanticizing autumn. It does not have to be big expensive things, it doesn't have to be doing a load of new things and changing things up. It's just about finding ways to enjoy all the little things that you already have. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am off to do the school run. It looks like it's gonna rain, but I'm gonna make it much more of an enjoyable trip to school by taking a nice hot coffee with me. I might take Archie a hot chocolate as well for when I meet him, which just makes it so much nicer. I'll probably take Rudy with me as well, maybe do a little detour and walk through the leaves, have my big coat on if it does start to rain. But yeah, we just got to romanticise the moment instead of thinking it looks like it's going to chuck it down and I've got to do the school run. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did, and as always, I would love to see you again for my next one. Take care everyone.